Hey everyone, Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar. Today we're checking out the Yorkville EXM Pro10 powered PA speaker. This is not just a powered speaker, it is literally a PA in a box, and it can handle just about anything you throw at it. I'm gonna go through some typical use cases that I've dreamt up, and then we'll talk about all the specs along the way so you know what it has to offer. First and foremost, this is a 10-inch speaker with a tweeter. It's got an 850 watt amplifier. It's capable of up to 134 decibels in SPL. So what does all that mean? It means that while this is a compact package, you can throw a lot at it and through it, whether you are a singer, guitar player, DJ. It can cover you in a lot of different ways without the worry of overloading it or not having enough volume. There's plenty of punch and volume in the EXM Pro10. So to start out with, a couple things that make this unique. It is battery powered. So yes, you can plug it in with your normal IEC cable and charge it that way, but it does have up to a 12-hour battery life on the 48-volt battery. So that means that this really can go anywhere. It's got two battery performance modes. So if you want to try and stretch out that battery even longer, you can by switching it over to the battery conservation mode. It comes in at just under 30 pounds and it is about 18 inches tall. So you can easily carry this in to a gig with one hand. Now let's talk about some use case scenarios as we move through this. The first obvious one is going to be as a complete and total PA solution. This has a built-in 3-channel mixer. And the cool thing about this mixer is it's very simple to use. You don't have to deal with any screens or anything like that, but it's very capable. So you get obviously 3 channels, level control on each channel, and for each channel, it's my personal favorite, you get built-in onboard effects. Now, a lot of times you're limited to just reverb. Not in this case. You do have 3 separate reverb controls for each of your channels, but you also get compression and delay. So when it comes to having effects for basically anything, whether it's a vocal, an acoustic guitar, a mandolin, you name it, having delay, reverb, and compression are really your meat and potatoes. So you have essentially everything you need to have a really, really great mix coming out of this simple but very capable 3-channel mixer. So as we move over to the master control section, I want to talk about the next potential use case for this. And you may have noticed that you can pole mount this, which in the first example, if you're using it as a all-in-one PA solution, might be a good way to use it. You can also, as a PA system, you can tilt it back. It's got a wedge kind of tilt back thing for it in the vertical orientation. But you can also throw it on its side and tilt it back, and then go over into your master control here and select monitor mode. So now, not only do you have an all-in-one PA solution with built-in effects, but you can also use this in a full band, larger ensemble situation where you might need a powered floor monitor. So you will also notice 2 additional modes in the master section. You've got live and you've got club. So these are going to change the overall EQ picture coming out of here, and they're optimized for different use cases. So like we said, monitor has its own optimized sort of character. Then you can go to live. That's where I would use it if you're using it as an all-encompassing PA. Now, if you're a DJ or if you're relying on this for background music or club type music, club, that's where you would set your EXM Pro 10 to. Obviously experiment with the different settings, but that's what they've thought of for you, and it's really easy to select between those 3 modes depending on how you're using the unit. So a couple things to note about the input and output panel. You notice you have combination jacks on all 3 channels, which is great. You can, again, plug basically anything you want to into this and oftentimes negate the need for a DI or a direct box. On channel 3, you do get something unique. You get an 1/8 inch input as well as Bluetooth connectivity. So you can run background music, you can run set break music into channel 3. And the cool thing about this is that your EQ and effects settings on channel 3 are not going to affect the 1/8 inch and Bluetooth input. Because if you have 3 inputs and you're using it for a gig and then you got to take a break, probably don't want those compression and EQ and effects settings on your set break music. That wouldn't make much sense, but they've thought of that for you, so you can just use channel 3 to pipe in the music however you're using it, and it won't affect whatever EQ or effect settings you have for an instrument or voice that's going into channel 3. So that's super convenient. If we go down to the output section here, this is where a third use case comes in. You can tie these in to a larger PA. You could use it in conjunction with another EXM Pro10 and have stereo playback, even wirelessly with the Bluetooth connection. And you can also bring it in with a subwoofer if you want and make it even more of a complete setup. If you want to get really crazy, you can get a couple more of these and they can be your floor monitors like we talked about as well. You can also use the input here to run a larger outboard mixer. So maybe you have a full band and you really can't use just the 3 inputs that are in the EXM Pro10. You can bring in your own mixer and send it right to the powered speaker as well. So a couple other convenience features that Yorkville have included here. You do get LED indicators of signal activity and clipping on all of the channels as well as the output, so you can monitor that, make sure you're not overloading anything. I mentioned before you do have the battery performance switch, so you can go to full power mode on the battery, but you can also go into the battery extension mode. In battery life extend mode, it's going to adjust the overall output and dynamics of the unit to maximize that battery longevity, so you can obviously juggle that however you see fit on your gig. Speaking of battery life, you do get the battery life indicator that shows you how your charge is progressing if you have this plugged into wall power, and then also if you're using it on battery power, it will show you how much battery you have left. And speaking of charging things, you do get a 5-volt USB charging output on this. So if you need to charge your cell phone, if you have a pedal board that has a battery pack in it you forgot to charge, or any of those peripherals that use a 5-volt USB charging port, you don't have to bring a separate brick to charge things with. You just plug right into the EXM Pro10 while you're doing the gig and have your phone be charging, and it'll be ready to go for your set breaks. You can play your set break music right back through the speaker. So there you have it, the Yorkville EXM Pro10. It is an all-in-one PA solution, built-in mixer, built-in effects. You can use it as a monitor. You can use it in conjunction with other EXM Pro10 units. It's very easy to expand, very easy to use, super intuitive to learn, and I think that there are just a million different ways you could use this if you're a solo performer or in an ensemble. So once again, my name is Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything in the future, and I will see you in the next one.